I'm Anthony Totri, and I'm here in the Four Peaks minibar for the first edition of Totri's 2 Cents. And this specific edition is dedicated to the one, the only, George Kliavkoff. And I'm here to tell you, George, what the hell were you thinking? But it's not all just George. The collapse of the Pac-12 being the biggest talking point of college football over the last, I don't know, half year and change. Not just Kliavkoff's fault. We're talking to Larry Scott as well, former Pac-12 commissioner. But in reality, this is both of your faults. You robbed college football fans. You robbed the West Coast of one of the greatest conferences we've seen. Look at the Pac-12 this season. Look what they were able to accomplish, right? Not just Washington being a game away from being national champions. We'll see what happens next week against Michigan. But you're talking about a team in the Huskies that had a Heisman level quarterback. Finished second in Heisman voting. In my personal opinion, he should have won the Heisman. What about the Oregon Ducks? Hell of a season Dan Lanning and Bo Nix put together. Bo Nix also a quarterback in the Heisman conversation. We're talking about wide receiver Troy Franklin, who's going to be a first or second round pick in the NFL draft. Oregon Ducks also had a phenomenal bowl game, absolutely dismantling Liberty in the Fiesta Bowl. Oh, but it's not just Washington and Oregon. What about USC, UCLA? Yeah, they faltered at times this season, both of which won their bowl games. They're also headed to the Big Ten with Washington and Oregon, George and Larry. But it's not even just the top four, not even just the top 4 teams in the Pac-12 that had marvelous seasons. Oregon State, yeah, they had a rough bowl game. That was expected with Jonathan Smith and most of their players leaving. But Oregon State, for the majority of the season, was an AP top 25 team, hovering around that 15 spot. At one point this season, Oregon State was ranked above the Alabama Crimson Tide, who last I checked was in the college football playoff. But it's not just Oregon State either. What about the Arizona Wildcats? Jed Fish, Noah Fafita, they put together a remarkable season, winning a bowl game, going 9-3. They currently have the 3rd longest active win streak in college football, behind, Michigan and Washington. Mind you, they, like I said, beat Oklahoma in the Alamo Bowl. But it wasn't even just Arizona. It wasn't even just Washington, Oregon, USC, UCLA, Oregon State, Arizona. What about Colorado? I've been a big hater of Colorado. They had the entire country watching. The entire country watching because of Coach Prime and company. I will tell you right now, George, you messed it up. You, in your greed, not just you, but Larry Scott and, some of the administrators fumbled the bag entirely. Imagine a world where you have multiple Heisman-level quarterbacks, the reigning Heisman winner, a college football playoff team who, again, just a win away from being a national champion. Imagine all of these great things no longer existing. And that's because of you, George. That's all because of you. And that's Totri's 2 Cents.